This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois.
And I'm Beth Jones. Recent court documents have shed light on the circumstances leading up to the death of Braxton Smith, detailing how the parents and grandmother told detectives about their treatment of the 10-year-old boy.
The affidavit lays out in gruesome detail what that little boy went through leading up to his death. Our Doug Banks has the story and a warning to our viewers. The details are disturbing.
An affidavit filed in Penobscot County Superior Court paints a disturbing picture of a 10-year-old Braxton Smith's short life. On the night of February 17th, Braxton's mother, Jem Bean, told investigators he was acting off, complaining of stomach problems. Court documents show Braxton weighed 48 pounds upon arrival to St. Joseph's ER, and medical personnel told a Bangor detective Braxton's vomit had the odor and appearance of cat food. The affidavit details that Braxton arrived unresponsive, and when a charge nurse said that Braxton had regained a pulse, she told detectives the grandmother and mother responded by saying, "He's a liar, and he lies all the time." An autopsy done by the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner discovered bruising inside Braxton's anus, markings on his body consistent with burn marks, a herniated brain, malnourishment, and abrasions on his wrists and ankles. Following that autopsy, the Chief Medical Examiner told investigators his condition was consistent with battered child syndrome. The mother described Braxton as stubborn, defiant, and often throwing temper tantrums. Documents state Braxton's parents would regularly zip tie him around the house to confine him for hours at a time, even tying the boy to themselves. When asked whose idea it was to zip tie Braxton, the father responded, "Pretty much mine." The grandmother even stating, "I didn't see it as a harmful option." Braxton's sibling spoke to a forensic interviewer, stating he eats dog food and sleeps in the bathroom. When asked if he feels responsible for Braxton's death, Joshua stated, "I didn't realize that whatever happened the way it did, happened the way it did."
I think that just somebody failed Braxton, and we need to find out who, because this sort of thing just cannot happen.
In Bangor, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
According to DHHS, Jem Bean, the mother, worked in an administrative role at the Dorothea Dix Psychiatric Hospital. In a statement, they said her job, quote, does not involve direct patient care or interaction with children. A vigil for Braxton Smith will be held on March 9th this Saturday at the Bangor waterfront starting at 6:30 p.m.
In other news, 2 people were killed in a head-on collision in Sebec this morning. According to the Piscataquis County Sheriff's Office, 2 vehicles collided on the Milo Road around 7 a.m. The driver and passenger of one of those vehicles both died at the scene. The driver of the other vehicle was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators with the Sheriff's Office have determined that road conditions were a contributing factor in that crash.
Poor communication hurt the police response to the Lewiston mass shooting. That's the testimony from an Army reservist and Androscoggin County deputy who testified before the commission investigating the shootings. The commission heard from members of Robert Card's Army Reserve Unit about their interactions with Card prior to the tragedy. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard was there and has the story.
Appearing before the commission under subpoena, members of Robert Card's U.S. Army Reserve Unit, some of which also responded to the October 25th mass shooting, testified on Thursday.
The lines of communication in response to this scene were unacceptable. In crucial events such as these, we need to constantly be applying the benefit to risk calculation, and that includes tactical considerations as well as communication.
Matthew Noyes is a deputy who responded to the manhunt for Robert Card following the shooting. He also served with him in the Army Reserves and was present during a July 2023 West Point training exercise. Noyes says he helped take Card to get a command-directed mental evaluation after the New York State Police were called to conduct a welfare check on Card.
So they spoke with him a few more minutes, and then finally they said, you know, the people outside, your command, the soldiers out there, they are worried about you. And I remember clear as day him saying, yeah, because they're afraid I'm going to do something. And then he said the words that I put in my statement to Saginaw County: I am capable.
Kevin Moat, the top non-commissioned officer of Card's Army Reserve Company, said once they got Card to the hospital at West Point, he tried to have a conversation with Card.
I told him that he was there because we were concerned about him. He needed help. And I came right out and said, you have to have some rational part of your mind that knows that these voices are not real, because the voices you're saying are coming from these random people all up and down the East Coast who don't know each other. I said, you have to know that this isn't real.
So what did he say?
He never said a word, and he stared right straight through me. He never even blinked.
The commission mainly focused their questions about why Maine's yellow flag law was not enacted following the July incident. One lawyer who is representing around 90 families of victims and survivors says the commission isn't asking enough probing and follow-up questions.
I mean, why did they take his threat to a fellow reservist in July more seriously than they took the threat of a mass shooting in September? Why was there a command-directed order for mental health evaluation in July, but not in September, when he threatened to go to the Army base and to shoot it up?
The commission is set to release their interim report to the legislature no later than April 1st, and hinted that more public hearings could be scheduled in April before releasing their final report in May. In Augusta, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, going from winter to spring has its perks, of course. However, the changing seasons can also pose flooding risks. Our Matthew Juronsik spoke to a public works official about how they're preparing.
Spring here in Maine offers a lot to its residents. Beautiful views, the sun being out longer, and let's not forget warmer weather. And depending on who you are, there might be a few muddy, wet negatives to the season also. Flooding from the winter melt and forecasted rain is on the mind of officials today as they watch the rain and snow melt begin.
Yesterday, the National Weather Service issued a flood warning, flood watch. It began to rain fairly heavily overnight with a lot of heavy rain to the north of us. The prediction was that the water would come into the parking lot, so we're trying to be very proactive.
So when the first signs of flooding become evident, teams like Augusta Public Works don't take it lightly.
When the water comes in the parking lot and the people can't get to their cars, then they get flooded and the cars either get damaged or we try and pull them out. People got a little worried, are more worried than they used to be about is this going to flood and do damage to their buildings.
And especially in low-lying areas, Jones says it's important to never underestimate the power of water.
Well, it's 64 times more dense than air, so that means it's 64 times stronger. So you get a wall of water coming to you. It's different than a wind coming to you, and 6 inches of water can knock you off its feet if it's flowing.
Next time you see a flood watch pop up on your phone, take precautions and remember to let your public works department do their job.
We just ask people to be safe and heed the barricades, heed the signs, and take care of themselves and their families.
Matthew Juronsik, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Certainly a timely warning there as we continue to see rain, most of this week. There's a little break coming, allegedly.
Yeah, right. We were looking forward to
Right.
it. And, it would really be helpful right now, especially with the warmer temperatures. What little snow we do have continues to melt, as they just described.
Yeah, it does indeed. So let's go ahead and get a first check of our forecast and see what's coming for the rest of this evening.
Thank you so much, Beth and Peter. And finally, things are clearing up. That big mess we had, that rain and snow, is finally moving out of our area. Wow, what a low pressure system. Well over 2 inches of rain and even about 2+ inches in some spots in the Millinocket area. And then north of that, but very wet snow, and some of it, of course, melted away with temperatures above freezing. Now, we're going to continue to see these clouds in the area, but other than that, we will continue to clear up, and just a sprinkle, probably just a flurry, will be lingering. Overall, though, we will be clearing up. Now, Millinocket area and then north, all right? That's where we're talking those heavier snowfall totals on the ground. Those purple colors indicating over 6 inches of snow. But we're going to continue to see warmer temps, and we will be melting that away. Now, low temperatures, though, they were hovering near freezing to slightly above. So, of course, whatever was falling was melting, or it was very, very wet. Hour-by-hour forecast does show temperatures hovering in those upper 20s. Beth and Peter?
Alrighty, Conrad, thank you so much.
And still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, snowmobile season is coming to an early end, but that doesn't mean an early start to the ATV season. Our Grace Blanchard tells us why.
And a troubled waste facility in Orrington has changed hands again, but the town is now providing more support to the new owners. Our David Ledford will have that story coming up.
As a child, you just couldn't keep me out of the puddles. That's where the acorn essentially was planted. As we got started, we had nothing in the bank, we were cash poor. That was just a one-man show. The support of my credit union, starting the business, the banking advice, when you can call them and they're there for you, that's tremendous. It's been a great asset for me and for my company's growth. It's really an exciting time, and my credit union made that possible.
Harris Lumber is locally owned and has been serving the Pequot region for more than 50 years. See them for all your projects, big or small. Customer service is their #1 priority. And with a full line of lumber and hardware items, they can also deliver to your job site. Harris Lumber, Milo.
Whether you're hurt by a landscaping truck like this, a work van like this, or any commercial vehicle, we know how to get you the big money you may deserve.
Hurt by a commercial vehicle? Call the Twos. We win for you.
The Hitmen of Country, a supergroup of 5 fantastic Nashville musicians who've toured or recorded with the royalty of country music, including Garth Brooks, Keith Urban, Trace Adkins, Jason Aldean, Travis Tritt, Winona, Lee Greenwood, and many more. Their multimedia stage show features video projection, behind-the-scenes stories. The Hitmen of Country. It's the ultimate country concert.
Dear Savvy Traveler, airline food isn't what it used to be. I need to fuel up before I fly.
Dear Hangry, you can fill up before takeoff at Bangor International Airport. The Highlands Cafe has quick and casual. The Refueler Pub and Grill has heartier fare. And the Post Security Cafe, other side of TSA, offers a pick-me-up before wheels up. Bon appetit and bon voyage, Hangry. And remember, the savvy travel through Bangor International Airport. Flybangor.com.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
With snowmobile season coming to an abrupt halt this year due to the lack of snow, some ATV riders might think that means an early start to their season, but game wardens and ATV clubs say that could create major problems for riders and landowners. Our Grace Blanchard explains.
For snowmobile riders, it's been a very short season. However, game wardens and ATV clubs are reminding riders that this does not mean an early start to ATV season.
A lot of people are anxious to get out and get in the woods and get their ATVs and their side-by-sides out, but the trails are just not ready for it.
Wardens say riding on the trails too early can be a safety hazard and impact riding for next season.
Massive ruts that really could cause you to crash or could cause your ride to be rough and miserable. You know, those things fall back on the clubs.
Maine boasts more than 6,000 miles of trails, which are all maintained by volunteers from local ATV clubs. Those volunteers say the season typically starts around mid-May.
We want to get out there, but there's stuff that we have to do early spring because we got to see what the trail looked like from the winter.
According to the president of ATV Maine, over 90% are on privately owned land. He says riding while the ground is soft could create major damage to landowners' property.
We lost about 300 to 400 miles of trails last year because people didn't want to obey what the landowners want. You know, we would love to be riding year round, but it's not our land, and we have to respect that.
Local clubs will put out notices once the conditions are rideable. Until then, the trails and ATV access routes will remain closed.
Any posted signs or no trespassing signs or signs that limit the use, like no motorized vehicles, it's really important to obey those any time of the year.
In Bangor, Grace Blanchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Orrington's waste facility has changed hands once again, but this time the county has provided the new owners with funding to address the thousands of pounds of trash sitting at the plant since May. Our David Ledford has that story.
The waste-to-energy plant, formerly known as the Penobscot Energy Recovery Company, or PERC, is now under new ownership. Eagle Point Energy Center bought the facility last month. And on Tuesday, the Penobscot County Commissioners awarded them with $650,000 in ARPA funding. The money will be used to purchase a baler, which will help with the cleanup of the roughly 8,000 tons of waste still sitting at the plant, by compacting it down to roughly 1/5 of its current size.
There's still
a very much hazardous, health issue sitting on the floor.
Spokesperson for the new owners, Dan Cashman, says they plan to get the facility up and running again once it is cleaned and upgraded.
So we're talking about get it back to basics and just get it operational. We are in a solid waste management crisis, and this is really going to help the 44 communities who have been contracted to send their trash to this facility. So that is going to provide some much needed pressure relief in terms of solid waste management.
A representative from the Maine Department of Labor says that during this transition there have also been layoffs at the plant, but could not disclose how many workers were affected. However, Cashman says the hiring process is ongoing and workers will be phased in as things move forward, including some who worked at the PERC plant.
They're hiring some people back as the opportunity presents itself.
The new owners plan to start processing trash again early next year. In Bangor, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, and still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, the greater Bangor area could soon be seeing a new bike sharing service.
And in sports, we hear from both Maine men's and women's basketball ahead of their upcoming America East tournament games. That story coming up.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Orono is more than just a college town. It's an affordable destination. Welcome to the Orono Arcade, where we have both modern and retro games. And for a new experience, check out our 9-hole blacklight mini golf course. Budget-friendly, fun for the whole family, with 13 restaurants within walking distance. We look forward to seeing you soon at the Orono Arcade.
To build the Honda CR-V Hybrid, we took everything you love about the CR-V and kicked it up a notch with excellent fuel efficiency and greater power. For a CR-V unlike any before. Adventure confidently with Honda, Car and Driver's most awarded brand in 10 Best history. The CR-V and CR-V Hybrid, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
Your local professional, eco-friendly office space partner is WVII Business Solutions, your one-stop shop to get the job done. Handling all your office furniture and printing machine needs at an affordable price. Offering full system integration into your workplace and local service on everything we sell. We can even remote monitor your system with just-in-time inventory and service need assessments. Little to no downtime gives you peace of mind. At WVII Business Solutions, your solution is only an email or a phone call away.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Engstrom's Auto Service in Guilford. We specialize in all foreign and domestic service and alignments.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start out with Maine women's basketball. The Black Bears are regular season America East champs and the 1 seed in the conference tournament for the 3rd time in 4 years. The Black Bears getting those honors plus the home court advantage after defeating previous #1 Albany Saturday in a winner-take-all showdown. Now, it may not be the trophy they want to hoist, but this one means that much more because of how they won it. That only furthers their spark as they gear up for a hopeful tournament run.
It was never this close. It never came down to the last game. Just knowing that the trophy was on the line was big, and just really proud of the team, how we competed and how we got the win.
Just been fighting really hard. We have a lot of grit, and we knew what we were playing for. This post-regular season is what we've been working for like the whole year, so we're just excited to get after it.
Maine opens up their road to the NCAA's Friday at 5 against the 8th seed UMass Lowell. The Riverhawks are much better than their seeding and played the Black Bears tough in each of the 2 games they played this year. Now, madness can happen in March, though, and it will take locking in on how they operate more than anything else to avoid an early exit.
Defensively, for us, keeping them in front, they have a lot of shifty guards. And then offensively, like with every team that we play, we have a lot of threats all over our court. Just being able to take what they're giving us.
We know Lowell plays really hard. They had all defensive team. They have a couple of rookies that are playing really well. While we have to be prepared for them, we also have to take care of ourselves, and I think that's the most important thing.
How about we stay in the pit and move to Maine men's basketball? The Black Bears have their America East quarterfinal matchup Saturday down at Bryant, and they go into it with plenty momentum. The 6th seed Black Bears winning 4 out of 5 to close out the regular season, including a win over 2 seed UMass Lowell Tuesday. Plus, America East announcing Thursday that Peter Filipovich made all-conference second team, and Kellen Tynes won his 2nd straight Defensive Player of the Year award. They've always had talent, but this run is the product of all they've learned about their opponents and each other.
Everybody's buying in to what we are trying to execute in the court, and guys are coming together, and I think we are playing for each other now.
It's kind of the natural progression throughout a year. There's always going to be some ups and downs when you're playing 30-plus games. This is a really connected group that works extremely hard on a daily basis, and is really starting to figure it out here down the stretch.
And now they face the 3-seeded Bulldogs on Saturday, a team they split in the regular season. The Black Bears searching for their first conference tournament win since 2005 when head coach Chris Markwood was on the team. Of course, they know they're capable of winning against Bryant if they slow down their fast pace and break the drought. There may not be much stopping them from there.
Big thing's going to be controlling tempo, and then us defensively leaning on what we do, which is really guard. And we have to get off to a great start on the defensive side of the ball and let that kind of feed into our offense.
It would feel good to break the streak. I think, we have all the talent to not only do that, but to win the whole thing. We have a very talented group, and, we all have confidence in each other and the coaches and, the game plan that they've laid out for us.
All right, that's all the time we have for sports. Here's Conrad Sapinski with your full 5-day forecast.
Thank you so much, Ryan. And look at this. Finally, this mess is moving out of our area. The whole kitchen sink mess, right? We had that rain, we had that snow, that sleet in the area, but finally things are clearing up. Now, visibility-wise, though, pretty good all over the area, around 10 miles. We did see some pretty low visibilities by those morning hours. Of course, we did have a lot of precipitation in the area in the forms, of course, of rain and snow. Now, we're going to continue to clear up. We're going to see some decrease in clouds overnight, and then by tomorrow, okay, wow, what a beautiful day. We're going to see lots of sunshine for tomorrow ahead of another low pressure system moving on in. Saturday, though, we're going to see some increase in clouds, and then by Sunday into Monday gets pretty interesting, where we're going to see a little bit more snow all over the state. Now, rainfall-wise, though, liquid equivalent rain, this is what we're looking at. Additionally, Sunday into Monday, around an inch of rain, some spots closer to Greenville. Look at that, over an inch of rain, and then those pockets just north of Dover, Foxcroft, just north of Millinocket area, we're going to see over an inch and a half of liquid equivalent rain. That means snowfall-wise gets very interesting. This has been the sweet spot all winter long, pretty much since November, right about here. That has been the sweet spot for snow. You guys are so lucky. I love the snow, but here in town, we were just not quite there. And it does look like several more inches of snow will be back in the forecast. Greenville, Millinocket area, and then north. That's going to be that sweet spot for more accumulative snowfall on the way Sunday into Monday. Now, high temperatures, though, they were hovering in those lower 40s, some mid 30s by Greenville, near 40 in Millinocket area, so everyone was melting all that wet snow away. And we're going to continue to stay pretty neutral with temperatures. We're not going to see any big up and down roller coaster rides like most of the country, the middle part of the country especially. We're going to stay pretty much near average to maybe slightly above average. But overall, though, throughout the month of March, this is what we're looking at, folks. We're looking at well above average temperatures in the center part of the country. Of course, here in the Northeast, we are looking at well above average temperatures that will be continuing after next week. Now, overall, though, for tonight, though, mid-20s outside, decreasing clouds, so it's going to get much, much better, right? Just going to be a bit breezy. For tomorrow, though, more melting of the snow. Temperatures in those lower 40s, mostly sunny skies, and a light breeze once again. Our extended forecast outlook does show pretty good-looking skies Friday into Saturday, ahead of rain and snow Sunday and Monday. Temperatures will be in those upper 30s. Beth and Peter?
Definitely holding out for a little more sunshine creeping in, but we'll see.
Yeah, let's hope that that extends into the week a little bit.
Indeed. Right. Well, there is still more to come, folks. Stay with us.
You're stepping inside from a romp in the snow with the kids. Time to take the chill off with a cup of hot chocolate and a push of a button on a Fujitsu heat pump from Valley Home Services. Skip the worry of heating bills and call or visit valleymaine.com today to start saving.
Hello, this is George Whelan with Down East Direct Cremation. Now, anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, from the comfort of your desktop or the convenience of your mobile device, you can summon transport and arrange a simple, affordable, respectful Down East Direct Cremation for your deceased loved one. Just by using the button exclusively at downeastdirectcremation.com. All you need is the location address of the person who has died, their vital statistics information, a valid credit card for payment, and that's it. No need to pick up the telephone, no need to answer a bunch of questions, no need to come into the store, and it's still just $9.75 complete. It's so easy, even I can do it. For more information, visit us at downeastdirectcremation.com or call us at 207-225-5332. Simple, affordable, respectful. The button, only at downeastdirectcremation.com.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience, with professional grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Available at Doors Equipment, 1468 Outer Hammond Street, Bangor.
The new Efficiency Maine heat pump rebates are here, and they're huge. Based on income, save from $4,000 to $11,100. And when combined with the new tax credits, the savings are bigger than ever, and Valley gives you your rebate instantly. Call Valley Home Services now for your new Fujitsu heat pump.
Welcome back. A new bike share service could soon be coming to the greater Bangor area. The program would bring bicycle and e-bike rental stations to Bangor, Brewer, Orono, and Old Town. Once installed, people would be able to rent a bicycle at one station and drop it off at any other station when they're done. Bike share company Tandem Mobility approached the city with the idea. The company has already partnered with the city of Portland, where they've installed 40 stations and brought 200 bikes for public use. According to Bangor's Director of Community and Economic Development, Ann Krieg, they hope to install up to 7 bike rental hubs in Bangor.
It reduces people's reliance on cars. It gives people, another opportunity to get outside. One thing that we all learned from the COVID lockdown was how much people want to be outside more.
Krieg says the bikes would be stored away during the winter months. The city hopes to have the first stations installed this year.
And with a mild winter and what seems to be an early spring, Acadia National Park has some new temporary closures in parts of the park. Starting on Friday, the carriage roads will be closed to prevent damage to them during the spring thaw. Warming weather and wet conditions tend to soften the gravel surface and make it susceptible to damage. The National Park Service will reopen the roads once they feel the risk of damage has passed. Keep updated on the conditions at Acadia National Park by going to their website, nps.gov/ACAD.
All right, and we know those closures are just so important to keep the park in tip-top shape for the peak seasons, and I am one of many who just can't wait to get to the park this year.
Cannot wait. I have my annual pass. It's going to be used quite a lot this year, but definitely so important to heed those closures because those carriage roads, very enjoyable when they're well maintained. I can't imagine what that carriage ride would feel like if there were ruts everywhere.
Yeah,
not good.
So fun.
Not so good. All righty, folks. Well, that is going to do it for us from everyone here at ABC 7 News. Take care and have a great rest of your night.
Good night, everyone.